What's going on, everybody? KD, Mob Culture over here. Welcome to another video. Today we are tuning my own personal car. We're heading over to Bespoke Audio. He's in the south of Johannesburg. He's the one that actually has done my sound in the car. He's going to actually show us how we tune the car. We're going to spend the day with him. And before we hit the road, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for subscribing, sharing, and tuning into my channel and helping me grow. Thank you so much. But let's head out. We've got quite a drive ahead of us, and let's kick it. So we just pulled up here at Ground Shop. That's his shop right there. That's Bespoke Audio.
Hi guys, Grant from Bespoke Audio, based in south of Joburg. Basically, we reach a market that your normal car audio shop or your car sound shop wouldn't reach. And we sell premium products, premium audio solutions for premium vehicles. Some of our products range from Audison to audio wave amplifiers, Audiofrog speaker systems. We do do a lot of Sony head units, and we've started doing some Sony speakers now to reach obviously the more budget conscious consumer. And when it comes to really budget stuff, then guys will come in, have a chat to us. Let's see what we can put together for you in a very tight budget or whatever budget you have. As I say, we are a custom shop, so most of our solutions are custom solutions, and then also our installs very custom installs. Each and every car will be a one-off. Obviously, with the name Bespoke, everybody knows one-off. That's what we do.
So what is a bit tune?
Yeah.
So a bit tune is a multi-purpose device which does a lot of different things. So it's an RTA, it's an oscilloscope, it's a signal generator, it's a simulation mic, it's a level setting mic. It takes optical input, it takes RCA inputs, it takes a number of different inputs, but it also interfaces with all Audison Bit products. So you can do an auto EQ on the BitTune software without having to have the Audison DSP software open. So you can access all of it from one interface, which makes it really powerful in terms of what you want to do. It also does line noise and EMS pickup, so you can pick up where you're picking up your line noise from, or any line noise or any electromagnetic signals, which would then add noise in your system.
Can't tune a car without a pipe.
Nope. At the moment, I've placed the Bit One mic. Now I want to place the Audiofrog mic as well into the vehicle, so I can see what the response difference is between the two. So that's what I'm currently doing. So the Audiofrog mic we use with Room EQ Wizard, REW. The BitTune has its own software.
That would be step number one when you want to tune a car.
Make sure you can hear. Step number one.
Make sure you can hear.
With both ears.
Here too is a number of different things depending on where you want to start from. Speaker placement and polarity would probably be the next step. So ensure your speakers are in phase, ensure you've got the right polarity to them, ensure your head unit then has the ability to output the full range signal. So that's 1, 2 and 3 all combined into one. Once you've got all of that, then you can move on to the rest of the stages, which is starting to measure distances for speakers, putting that into your DSP, setting your crossover points up. Once you've done that, then you start measuring. So the measurement side of it comes in step probably 7 or 8 after you've done the preliminary checks that the car's got all of the components that it needs. Once you've done that, then you tune the car. And the last and most important step, which everyone seems to leave out, is you jump into the car and you actually have a listen to it. Because while the microphones are great and they can tell you a lot of stuff about frequency response, at the end of the day, you still need to listen to the car. And once you listen to the car, you can then do fine adjustments based on either the customer's requirements or your personal house tune, depending on which way you want to go. We generally tune all our cars to a specific house tune and then get the customer in the car and go, right, what do you hear? And it doesn't have to be anything technical, so he doesn't have to go, at X frequency I'm hearing this, at Y frequency I'm hearing that. If he gives us a general idea of, I'm hearing this, or I'd like a little bit more of that, or I want a little bit more of this, or whatever. Because we've got the knowledge of understanding exactly where those frequencies lie within the frequency range, we can then make adjustments for that until the customer is happy, and then he drives out happy. Because at the end of the day, it's about him, it's not about what we want from a car.
Every vehicle will be different. We can build two cars exactly the same equipment, exactly the same everything. But at the end of the day, it's about the client. You may have one client that'll want a little bit more treble, a little bit more mid-range. We can tune it. You may have one client that wants a bit more bass. We can tune it. So if you're getting into a car, even though we've built both cars and they should sound exactly the same, they won't, because we've been able to use the processors and things like that to tune it exactly to what the client wants. It's not about what I want at the end of the day. It's not about what SK wants at the end of the day. It's about what the client wants. So if he has a home system that plays X and he wants it to sound like that, we can make it sound like that. So there's no right and wrong. There is right and wrong, but there is no right and wrong.
The right part of it is getting the fundamentals correct. There's no way you can get the fundamentals wrong and then still be able to tune a car right. You know, it's like the foundation of a house. You have to make sure that the basics are done correctly to be able to then build on that whatever you want, be it a one-story house, a two-story house, a three-story house. Because your foundation has to be correct from the start. And lots of people don't get that part right. So when they try and tune a car, they're trying to fix stuff which is already inherent in the system.
You're going back to step one. Make sure your install's 100%. Make sure your wiring's 100%. Phasing, like SK said, those things are all fundamentals. Without that being correct and right, you can tune for years and you're never ever going to get the car right. There's always going to be something wrong. There's no juice in that car. She's drinking it like a...
like a drunken sailor.
Like a hoe that wants to have a good time.
Pomona Road, Queens.
What do you know about Pomona Road?
I've been around.
You're from the West End. How do you know about Pomona Road?
I'm everywhere. So what does a sine sweep do?
So sine sweep basically sweeps your frequencies all the way from 50 Hz up, but it does a sweep of all of the frequencies. So what the Bit One will then do is it'll analyze the input from the head unit and look at what frequencies are coming in and then equalize them so that they all become level. So you're starting again, it's from your base level upwards.
2000 link widths, 12 dB.
High pass link widths 12 dB. 24. Sorry, not
Yeah.
12.
Okay.
What's crossovers?
Okay, so crossovers basically allow the right frequencies to go to the right speakers so you don't damage the speakers. So your first step in tuning is you set your crossovers up so you don't damage your speakers. We're setting 2000 Hz and up for the tweeters because we know these tweeters can play there. Then we'll do the mid-ranges or the mid-bass, mid-range in this car between 80 Hz and 2000, and then we'll do the woofer from 60 Hz down.
Okay.
And then 24 dB, 12 dB, 36 dB, those are all the slopes. So how sharp you want it to cut those frequencies off at those specific bands, so to speak.
So what are you guys setting the mid bass at?
Band pass 80 to 2K.
So what do you do?
Tape measure. Okay. Now I'm going to measure all
the speaker
the distances from the speakers to the mic. Then we can input that into the processor, and then from there the processor will work out the delay of the distance between driver's tweeter to basically the person's head, and then passenger speaker to the person's head. So we can input those. Depends, some processors need you to work out the difference of the distance. Bit one, you put in the distance and it does its own working out. So we'll just input the distances, and then the bit one will work out what the difference in distance is between the speakers. Okay. So that's what we're going to do now. Cool.
Why do you want delay, and why do you want time alignment? Or
Because in a car you're sitting nearer to one speaker than you are to another speaker. You want the arrival time for both speakers to your head at the same time to give you an optimal stage.
Okay. So you're creating a sound stage, eh?
What's the distance?
So now if you look here and see what it's done is it's delayed. So your furthest speaker would be that one there, okay, which is your left tweeter. So you'll see there's 0 delay there. So now if we go to the right tweeter, you'll see it's delayed it by 0.83 milliseconds. If you go to the mid-bass, that's the same distance as the tweeter, so there's 0 delay on mid and tweeter that side.
Okay, so we're playing pink noises too. Look at the EQ, eh?
Now we're going to look at what the frequency response of the car is.
Okay. So where it peaks, where it doesn't, and that's where we will process.
Yeah. So you'll see both graphs read pretty much the same.
So that target curve, that's where you want it to be.
That's our house curve.
So house curve meaning base curve?
Base curve is what we've found most of our customers enjoy to that level, to that curve.
Okay.
So from there we'll get the car on a target curve, on basically our house curve as you would call it. Then from there we would get the client in again, obviously sit him in his car, say okay, this is our starting point of where we at, and then he would say yeah, okay, I want a little bit more treble, or I want a little bit more bass, or things like that, and then from there we'll customize the curve or customize the tuning to the client.
We have a massive peak between 50 and 60 hertz. So now we go on to here, we choose our subwoofer, we find out 50 and 60 hertz, and we start dropping it down. We start smoothing it out. So you'll see that's now come down a little bit, so we need to drop it a little bit more because you've still got way too much energy there. So we bring that down a little bit, we bring that down a little bit, and we bring that down. Then we're starting to come in line with what our house curve starts to look like. We've still got a bit too much energy, so we go in here, we choose our subwoofer, and we can now bring our subwoofer down a little bit more there. There we go. So now we're looking at frequencies between that point and that point, and you'll see it's a little bit more linear. We don't have anything on the bottom end, so we go back to our equalization and we pick up the bottom end.
Phasing issue. And you said what was that?
Reflection. Reflection could go both ways. So reflection, you could get a dip. Reflection can go two ways. So either you get a major dip or you get a major spike.
Okay. So EQ won't save that. Oh, slightly.
It may and it may not, depending on how bad the reflection is and where it's coming from. Some reflections are good, some reflections
are bad. In this car we've got reflection, or we've got a cancellation at 120 hertz. There. That's where we've got a cancellation.
Kill the left mid-bass.
That's what I was going to do next. See, and they killed it off. So now you don't have that dip anymore.
Okay. So is that a phasing issue?
It's a phasing issue. There's probably a reflection in the door or cancellation in the door which is giving us that peak. Everything else is pretty much smooth in terms of what we want.
So what could cause reflections in the door?
Door panel, steering wheel, seat, a bunch of things that are in front of the speaker. But mainly when you're using factory door panels, you'll find you will have reflections or cancellations within a door because the speaker's playing into the door panel. So this here is to get you to bass, to a basic line of where the car will sound decent to 99-95% of people, and this is where we now start getting in the car, listening to the car, putting some music through the car, and then we can start fine tuning and adjusting from there.
Plus with equalization, wherever possible, try to cut rather than boost, because when you start boosting you introduce distortion into the system. When you cut, you can actually clean up the system without introducing noise or distortion.
So listening session is taking place. And there we have it, guys. If you've made it thus far, thank you so much for watching. And just a quick tip. You don't need a fancy setup, you don't need a DSP, you don't need all of these fancy equipment to make your car sound great. All you need is follow these steps. Foundation, use the correct methods, and tune to your ear. Tune to what you like. If you're unsure, visit your nearest sound shop. Support the guys if they are charging. Let's help and grow this industry. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your support. This is Katie. Peace out till we meet again. And that's it for me. Cheers.